Hello, everybody. I am Aaron. I live in California, and my mentor is Ruben Das. In my elevator talk, we will discuss coronary artery disease, which I will abbreviate as CAD, and its gold standard treatments. Here is our agenda. We will go over what CAD is, transition into how atherosclerosis fits into the picture, and then learn about the CAD treatments metoprolol and atorvastatin. Why should we even care? Well, CAD is the top cause of death in the United States, with 610,000 deaths annually in the country and 17.8 million deaths globally per year. CAD is the umbrella term for all diseases that originate from cholesterol buildup. However, we need to acknowledge that CAD itself is not solely a disease of cholesterol, but one of inflammation. There are two types of CAD. The first is obstructive, which is what we discussed earlier about the cholesterol buildup. The second is non-obstructive CAD, which is a less understood variant that does not actually result from excess cholesterol in the arteries. For our sake, we will focus mostly on obstructive coronary artery disease. Atherosclerosis is a disease characterized by the buildup of cholesterol, which progresses through four stages. The first stage is when the artery becomes inflamed after bad cholesterol, known as low-density lipoprotein, begins to accumulate. This buildup, named plaque, makes the artery more permeable, allowing inflammatory compounds to enter. Fat streaks called xanthomas, which are made from a type of cell called foam cells that originate from monocytes, may form something called the necrotic core. Consequently, the damage to the artery makes it rebuild with tissue made of collagen, which contributes to the fatty characteristic of this disease. Finally, in people who've struggled with CAD for a while, the plaque can calcify and form a blood clot called a thrombus. Here's a diagram of the artery becoming progressively more blocked by the plaque, ultimately forming a thrombus. We can see as atherosclerosis progresses, the artery becomes more and more clogged. Here is a diagram of how monocytes differentiate into macrophages, a certain type of cell, and either contribute to or fight against the inflammation in the artery. The M1 phenotype fights inflammation, while the M2 phenotype plays a role in its buildup. Foam cells are obtained or develop from the absorption of any type of fatty compound like lipids by macrophages, which I said before does also contribute to atherosclerosis. This is metoprolol, the first gold standard treatment of CAD. Belonging to the category of beta-1 adrenergic receptor antagonists, or simply just beta blockers, this drug prevents catecholamines from binding to certain receptors. Catecholamines are compounds like adrenaline that force the heart to beat quickly. By preventing these compounds from binding, metoprolol lessens the workload on the heart, making it pump less frequently and more softly, reducing blood pressure. The diagram on the left is an overview of the actual cell pathway that metoprolol inhibits. As we can see, the pathway influences the heart's contractility. This is atorvastatin, the second gold standard treatment of CAD. This compound binds and inhibits the enzyme HMG coenzyme A, which is the key part of the mevalonate pathway. The reason why this inhibition is so crucial is that this pathway synthesizes cholesterol, as seen in the step-by-step diagram above. Thus, atorvastatin attacks the root cause of atherosclerosis and reduces inflammation. So, as a summary of what we discussed, CAD is a disease of cholesterol and inflammation, and is the top cause of death in the United States. Metoprolol, one of its gold standard treatments, works by reducing the workload on the heart. Atorvastatin, another one of its gold standard treatments, works by attacking the progression of inflammation and cholesterol synthesis. Thank you, everybody, and I hope my talk has taught you something new.